Welcome back to the English Speaking Podcast, the podcast that helps you improve your English through slow, clear, and natural conversations. In today's episode, we're going to talk about 7 habits that will help you speak English more clearly. These are small daily habits you can start practicing right away. They'll make your English easier to understand, more confident, and more natural. So if you've ever been told, "Can you repeat that?" or if you sometimes feel your English isn't clear enough, this episode will give you practical steps to change that. Let's get started. You know that feeling when you're trying to explain something important, maybe an idea you're really passionate about, and you just see that confused look on the listener's face? Or maybe you just feel your English doesn't quite land with the confidence you actually feel.
Yeah, it's really common and frustrating.
Definitely. So today we're looking at some, fundamental habits, things maybe we don't always think about, but that can make a huge difference in how clear and how confident our English sounds.
Absolutely. It's about moving beyond just being heard. It's about being truly understood and even remembered. People often think it's all about pronunciation.
Right, like getting the accent perfect.
Exactly. But it's broader than that. It's how you deliver everything, your whole vocal package, really, to make your message connect better.
Okay, let's dive into the first habit then.
Hmm.
And it's one that, feels a bit strange at first.
Hmm.
Embrace the power of strategic pauses.
Mm.
I mean, we tend to want to fill the silence, right?
We do. There's this urge to keep talking, maybe because we worry we'll sound hesitant or like lose the other person's attention.
Yeah, exactly.
But those silences, those little breaks, they're actually incredibly powerful. Think of it like writing. You need white space, right? Paragraph breaks, spaces after periods. It helps the reader digest.
Okay, makes sense.
Same with speech. Your brain and your listener's brain needs that space. If you just talk nonstop, everything mushes together, it becomes, mumbo jumbo. The listener's working really hard just to figure out where one idea ends and the next begins.
Right. It's exhausting for them. I know, I find it hard to follow sometimes, especially if someone speaks super fast without any breaks.
Precisely. And here's the surprising thing. People who use pauses well, they're often seen as more confident, more intelligent, more thoughtful, not less.
Really? That's counterintuitive.
It is, but it signals control. It shows you're deliberate, you're thinking, and you respect the listener's need to process. You're not just, filling air. You're conveying meaning.
So how do we actually do it? Just stop talking for a second.
Kind of, yeah. Intentionally create those spaces. End of a phrase, take a small breath. End of a sentence, a slightly longer pause between big ideas. Definitely pause. Let the last point sink in before you move on.
Okay, not rushing, breathing for clarity, not just air.
Exactly. And it doesn't need to be long or awkward, just natural breaks. You'll get the hang of it. It makes your ideas land with so much more impact. Like, this first step, pause is crucial. See?
Yeah, I get it. Okay, that leads nicely into habit number 2, which feels related. Slow down and vary your speaking rate to highlight key points. I think a lot of us, especially learning English, feel like faster equals more fluent.
That's a really common misconception. But think about highlighting a textbook. If you highlight the entire page,
And nothing stands out.
exactly, it all looks the same, so nothing is actually emphasized. It's the same with speaking. If you talk at one constant, fast speed, everything blurs. Your most important points just get lost in the flow.
So going fast can actually dilute your message.
Absolutely. The trick is varying your speed. Think of it like a verbal highlighter. When you have a really key point to make, you deliberately slow down.
Okay. To signal, listen up.
Precisely. And this does a couple of really practical things. First, it physically gives your mouth, your tongue, your lips more time to get into the right position for each sound. Clear pronunciation.
Right, less mumbling because you're not rushing the sounds.
Exactly. Especially helpful for non-native speakers navigating tricky English sounds. And second, slowing down gives you more presence. It shows confidence, control. You own that moment.
Makes sense. So how can we practice this? It feels like it could sound unnatural if we force it.
Good question. Reading aloud is a great way. Pick something, anything, and decide what the key message is in each sentence or paragraph. Then consciously slow down for those bits, give them weight, and maybe speed up slightly on the less crucial parts, but never rush. It's like music, different tempos. It keeps it interesting.
Okay, so contrast, like saying your voice matters and communication skills are important really fast versus
Your voice slows, it matters. Pause and
Yeah.
communication. Slows. It's not just a skill, It's a superpower.
Wow. Yeah. Huge difference in impact.
Night and day, it lands completely differently.
Okay, building on that idea of physical clarity, habit 3 is about practice over enunciation and crisp diction. This feels like the real nuts and bolts of clear sound.
It really is. A lot of clarity comes down to hitting those consonants clearly. They're kind of the skeleton of the words in English. If they're weak or slurred, the word just collapses.
Okay.
The idea isn't to sound like a robot, but just to make those mouth movements, tongue, lips, jaw, a bit bigger, a bit more precise. Like for the word talk, really feel the T at the start and the K at the end.
Exaggerate it a little in practice.
Exactly. It might feel strange at first, but you're training those muscles for better control, like a mini mouth workout.
So what kind of mouth workouts can we do?
Well, there are specific speech exercises. One type is called diadochokinetic tasks, bit of a mouthful.
Ah, yeah.
It involves repeating sounds quickly but clearly, like putaku, kutaku.
Yeah.
Not fast, but steady and distinct. You're teaching your mouth to switch positions accurately.
Okay, prevents sounds from blurring together.
Right. And then there are tongue twisters.
Yeah.
But the key here is not speed, it's accuracy.
Ah, okay, so don't try to say she sells seashells. Super fat.
Not for this purpose. Go slowly enough that every single S in she is perfectly crisp and clear. She sells shells. Focus on the precision. It really trains control.
Got it. And for, like, daily practice.
Reading aloud again. Just pick anything, a book, news article, social media, and read it with intention. Over-articulate slightly, slow down, use those pauses. Doing it regularly builds the habit into your normal speech.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've covered rhythm, speed, and articulation. Now, what about the voice itself? Habit 4. Prepare your voice with warm-ups and optimal breathing.
Our voice is like a muscle.
It absolutely is. Or rather, a system of muscles and delicate tissues. And like any athlete, you wouldn't just jump into a race cold.
No, you'd stretch, warm up.
Exactly. Same for your voice. Warming up gets the vocal cords ready, makes them more flexible, reduces tension, and prevents strain or fatigue, especially if you're going to talk a lot.
Okay, so what's a quick warm up we can actually do?
Lip trills are fantastic. You know, the motorboat sound.
Do that on a steady, comfortable pitch for about a minute. It gently massages the vocal folds. If it's hard, you can gently push your cheeks in with your fingers.
Okay.
Then maybe try lip trilling, a simple song you like. Adds a bit of range. And finally, some short bursts. Brr, 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 just for another minute. Takes like 3 minutes total, but makes a real difference.
Sounds doable. And maybe even a bit fun. What about the breathing part? Optimal breathing.
This is huge and often overlooked. It's about how you breathe when you're not speaking, which is most of the time. The habit is default to nose breathing whenever you're not talking.
Nose breathing. Why does that matter for my voice?
Well, think about it. Mouth breathing dries everything out your throat, your vocal cords. They need moisture to work well. It also tends to lead to shallow chest breathing, less support, more fatigue.
Oh, I see.
Your nose, on the other hand, is amazing. It warms the air, filters it, and most importantly, humidifies it, keeps everything moist. Plus, nose breathing actually helps you absorb about 20% more oxygen.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because of nitric oxide produced in the sinuses. It also triggers your calming nervous system. So breathing through your nose just generally keeps your system healthier, calmer, and your voice much happier and more resilient. It's a small change with a massive cumulative effect over thousands of breaths a day.
That's fascinating. Okay. Connecting breathing to presence. Habit 5 is speak with appropriate volume and presence. This isn't about being loud, right?
And not about shouting, no. It's about energy, vitality. It's about letting your voice comfortably fill the space you're in, whether that's face-to-face or online, projecting healthily.
So it's more than just being heard.
Yeah, much more. Before your words even land, the vibration, the energy in your voice sends a message. It says, I'm present, I'm engaged, I believe this. If your voice is too quiet, too hesitant, it can accidentally signal the opposite, like your ideas aren't important.
Even if they are.
Even if they are. There's this subconscious link we make. Vocal strength equals personal strength or conviction. A small voice can imply small ideas. A voice with presence suggests confidence. A lot of people, maybe especially in a second language, tend to play it too small.
Hold back a bit.
Yeah, and it stops people connecting fully with them and their message. A simple practice is to imagine speaking to the back wall of the room. Use your breath support, feel the resonance, find that comfortable projected volume.
Giving your ideas the platform they deserve.
Okay.
Now, shifting to structure. Habit 6 feels really key for clarity. Finish one thought at a time and use declarative statements. We all know someone who kind of rambles.
Oh, absolutely. Or maybe we do it ourselves sometimes. Rambling is basically when your mouth gets ahead of your brain. You start an idea, veer off, add details, loop back.
And the listener is lost.
Totally lost. It puts a huge mental strain on them trying to follow your train of thought. And honestly, it makes you sound unsure, disorganized, even if you actually know exactly what you mean.
Right. So what's the alternative?
Clear communicators do this. Start a thought, finish it cleanly, pause, then start the next thought. It's structured, intentional.
That pause again.
It's key. It gives you a second to gather yourself and gives the listener a clear signal. Okay, new idea coming. It projects organization and confidence.
And the declarative statements part, what does that mean exactly?
It just means using clear, concise sentences that state something directly, like a full stop at the end, mentally and verbally, instead of wishy-washy language like, well, I was sort of thinking maybe we could perhaps
Be direct.
be direct. The report is due Friday. We need to reschedule the meeting. It replaces hesitation with clarity and conviction.
Okay, let's take that meeting example you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Rambling version sounded like.
I like, hey, boss, I looked at the project and editing and marketing. They agree we need more people or we won't hit the deadline and customers will be upset because of the emails. It's hard work listening to that.
Yeah, definitely. So the clear declarative version.
Would be more like, team, we need to adjust the campaign launch. Pause. Editing and marketing flagged a resource issue. Pause. Without more help, we risk missing the deadline. Pause. This could affect customers. Pause. Let's discuss solutions.
Wow. Same info, totally different impact. Clear, confident, easy to follow.
Exactly. Night and day difference, both for the listener and for how confident you feel delivering it.
That's powerful. Okay, that brings us to our final habit, number 7, which is about making sure the message is actually understood. Simplify complex ideas with analogies and clear language. Sometimes you explain something, they don't get it, so you just say it again slower.
Yeah, we've all done it. But if they didn't get it the first time, repeating it slower usually doesn't help. The problem often isn't the speed, it's the explanation itself. You need to explain it differently.
Okay.
And that's where analogies are gold. They're like little mental shortcuts. They take something tricky or abstract and connect it to something simple and familiar that the listener already understands.
Building a bridge.
Exactly. A bridge from the unknown to the known. It makes the idea click instantly. Analogies make things stick. They simplify without dumbing down, and they make you more relatable, more memorable.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about explaining compounding interest. The technical definition is, exponential growth, where interest accrues on the principal and previously accumulated interest.
Eyes glaze over a bit.
Right. It's accurate, but dry and hard to picture. But use the snowball analogy. Compounding interest is like rolling a snowball downhill. It starts small, picks up more snow, gets bigger, and the bigger it gets, the faster it grows.
Ah, yeah. Instantly clear. You see it.
Exactly. Connects immediately. So analogies are great. And beyond that, just generally aim for simple, clear language, shorter sentences. Avoid jargon, buzzwords, acronyms unless you know your audience gets them.
Plain language.
Plain language is powerful. It breaks down barriers. It shows respect for your listener because you're making it easy for them to understand your brilliant ideas. Try explaining something complex from your field to a friend who knows nothing about it. That's a great test.
That's a really good tip. So these 7 habits together, it's quite a toolkit. It feels like it's not just about sounding clear, but really about connecting more effectively.
That's exactly it. It's about letting more of your true self, your ideas, your personality, your confidence come through clearly in your English. When you speak with that clarity and presence, you build trust, you make real connections.
Yeah.
People don't just hear words, they feel the message. It reminds me of that wonderful Maya Angelou quote. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
Beautiful.
Practicing these habits, it's not about performance. It's about making people feel heard, understood, and connected to you. When you speak clearly, with care, people truly listen.
Thanks for listening to the English Speaking Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you never miss new episodes. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep speaking English with confidence.